Hey guys, Sidica here, and today I am doing a pretty simple setup tour right now. It is kind of dirty right now, but other than that, it's not too bad. As a matter of fact, I might as well just move these scissors right here as I come in on the desktop. This is what I've got for my main setup. As you can see, it's pretty simple. What this is an AMD X4 620 with a GTX 1060 3GB, which you can see the box for right over here, and it's running with 8GB of RAM. So we have the Asus Dual GeForce GTX 1060 here, with the power supply being the Photon 650 watt gold certified power supply. I have a Razer Naga mouse and a fairly cheap black web keyboard. It's not mechanical or anything. I picked it up at Walmart for maybe 50 bucks. It was super cheap, just something to pick up to get out of the way. This is a cooler that hasn't been installed yet. This is actually going to be going into my new system that I'm building with a Core i3 7100. So these are all the parts that are going to be going into my new system, obviously other than the keyboard and mouse. Those are being used right now. The 1060 is already in my new system along with the Photon. Our old system, I mean, those are already in here. So for my headphones, I am actually using a fairly cheap pair of Turtle Beach headphones. I'm not even sure what they are. All I know is they work and they supply pretty good audio. As we can see, this is fully RGB. If I can turn it off, I can change the color, I can change it blinking, I can make it scroll between colors. As you can see here, it'll go from red to yellow, and it'll continue to go through maybe 7 or 8 different colors. I can pull up in the black web, like I said, Walmart brand program that they have. It took me actually maybe a week to find this program because it doesn't come in the box and it takes forever to find it online. I can actually go over to lighting here. I can go and set it as color 1, which is red right now. But if I click on this little box right here, I can actually pick anywhere in the color wheel. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna exit out of that, and just keep it white because white is my color of choice. As you can see with the mouse, which I have set up for white on the logo, white on the scroll bar, and that lights up white on the side when I click. The only reason I have it that way is just because I thought it was a pretty cool feature. Now over here I have an HP Stream laptop. Sorry for that camera shake. The HP Stream laptop. Now what I'm using that for is pretty much to see how many viewers I have, watch the chat when I'm streaming and stuff like that. I have a fairly really cheap Dell mouse connected to that right now. The reason I have that connected is because the trackpad is not currently working. As you can see, I can move it as much as I want, nothing happens. Now I move the mouse, stuff happens. As you can see, trackpad, nothing's happening. I have to get the updated driver for that because I upgraded it to Windows 10. Actually by accident, it was forcing an update. So over here I have a system that I actually just built on stream today. Actually, I was thinking yesterday, but it was today. With that, I have a Core 2 Quad Q8400 running at 2.66 gigahertz. Will be overclocked to 3 gigahertz. Again, 8 gigabytes of RAM. I have a Corsair CX 600 watt power supply, A+ bronze certified, with a really cheap keyboard, an HP keyboard. I'm actually installing Windows 10 onto this right now because it had Windows 8 on it. And a Diablo 3 mouse, special edition. I think it's made by SteelSeries maybe. Yep, SteelSeries. So that's pretty much just the basics of my setup. As you can see, I pretty much just really cheap right now. I'm trying to upgrade to the Core i3 as fast as possible. I'm getting a pretty good set of parts right here going. And that's pretty much all I have going for me right now. But just wanted to put it out, show you guys what I had going on. Really all I'm using this system over here for is pretty much to lay down in bed and be able to view, say, Netflix or YouTube, stuff like that, anything of that fashion. This one over here is obviously my gaming rig. As you can see, I have my chair and my desk. I'm using this to stream right now. I would almost like to use this system over here to have a like dedicated streaming box, and then this over here be a just the gaming computer and stream from this machine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you into my parts room. Okay, so starting over at the left, I'm sorry if the audio got worse. It's kind of a little closet area in here. So starting over at the left, I have a super old Dell Dimension 2350 here, alongside a gateway system that is probably older than most of you guys are, running Windows ME. Now I picked these three systems up, plus the system that was using this motherboard, an old AMD chip. I think it actually might be an Athlon 64, something along them lines. Well, there's the I/O plate for it. Super cheap old system. I picked all three of these up. The most capable one out of all of them was the Dimension 3000 with a Pentium 4 in it. So I don't even know if that was an an Athlon 64. I'm not sure what it was, but it's an old AMD system. So I picked all of that up for, I think, $15. So I just picked it up for something to tinker on, something to give me a little bit of time to play with. Now I actually did forget one of the systems that are in my room currently. It is actually chilling under where those parts were, underneath that red sheet. It's not really important. It's another Pentium 4 machine, just something I was tinkering with. Now over here, I do have another monitor, but it is broken up in here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's cracked right there, and it goes pretty much along the whole monitor. The reason I'm keeping it is because it's a very nice monitor. It just needs a screen replacement, which I should be able to get for it. Now if we rotate or move up here, we have two hard drives right here. Not sure on storage capacity with them. I could check, but I'm pretty sure we just have like a Maxitor 320 gigabyte, probably another 250 gigabyte right here under it, along with a bunch of, well, 4 or 5 actually. We have 4 DVD drives and then a really small laptop drive down here, along with another 2 hard drives. This top one's SATA, this bottom one is actually PATA. So we come over to the right even more, and we have 2 very cheap power supplies. Never put any of them in your gaming computer, obviously. And then we have this little desk area, which the desk area was going to be for a secondary computer setup, but instead of doing that, I ended up filling it full of parts. As you can see here, I have DDR2 and DDR3 RAM. Most of it, I'm separating it right now. All of that is DDR2. We have some pretty expensive Corsair RAM right here. It's XMS2. It was pretty top of the line when it came out. Or not top of the line, but it was pretty decent when it came out. And then we moved to this RAM right here, which is the DDR3 water-cooled RAM that I had for a little bit in my Core i5 system, which I do still have the Core i5, just not the motherboard. So that's what I have for RAM. Now we can move down, and right here we just have quite a few different heat sinks for motherboards. This one is LED. It has white LEDs in it. Other than that, these 3 are just pretty basic. Nothing really fancy there. Those are all socket 775. Down here we just have some kind of random cords and stuff like that. Super random stuff. And here is where things get a little bit more expensive. So I actually have 2 of these Razer Nagas, I think they are. So these are blue LED Nostromos. Not Naga, obviously. That's my mouse. Nostromo. That's what it is. It's the Razer Nostromo. So what this is it's kind of like a keyboard. You can rest your hands right here, and you can use W, A, S, and D, and you can kind of, you got shift over here to sprint, space right there to jump, and it's just kind of like a mini keyboard. You got scroll right there. Doesn't sound good. This is the This is the one that I use the most, as you can see, of the wear. This one is pretty much just a secondary. This one is in a lot better condition. I think it makes that noise because it hasn't been used a whole lot, but this one is my daily, the one I used to use all the time. It is getting quite a bit of wear, not rare. As you can see here, I got a Razer sticker. I have an iGo laptop charger, another Microsoft cheapo mouse. Now, for my processors, I have quite a few. So the first one up, you guys are not going to be able to tell what they are, but this one is a Core 2 Duo 6600 at 2.4 gigahertz. We have a Core 2 Duo 6600 2.4 gigahertz, so pretty much those two are the same. I think I might have 3 of them. Maybe I'm wrong. Another one right here, we have a Core 2 Duo E7200 at 2.53 gigahertz. We have another socket 775, so we have 4 socket 775. Whoa, well, it might be 3. Here's the 4th one, maybe, if it still works. An Intel Pentium E2160 at 1.8 gigahertz, so that's pretty low end, especially for its time. And right here we have an older socket, Intel Pentium 4. I'm not sure what socket type that is. I'm sure I could figure it out. But it's from around the year 2001, so it's pretty old. Here is where we have my Core i5. I will take that out for you guys, show you guys what the Core i5 looks like. So here we have the Core i5 2320 quad-core 3 gigahertz processor, made in, I want to say, 2010? Nope, 2009. So it's a 2009 chip. It's not too bad, but it's also not the greatest in the world. So moving on, let's go ahead and just sloppily throw these all back. These processors, these Core 2 Duos, Pentiums, I really don't give two shits about. I almost didn't want to say it because it's going on the YouTube channel, and I don't know if I want that type of language on the YouTube channel, but you know what? I think you guys should be mature enough to handle that. So moving on over here, we have a bunch of random SATA cables, webcam, you know, stuff like that. USB extensions. We have micro HDMI to HDMI, or HDMI to micro HDMI actually. We have VGA to HDMI. We have a bunch of little things here. Moving down, we have a bunch of case fans. We've got 120mm red fans. We've got 120mm red LED fans, both made by YHS. And then I think we just have like a random 80mm fan in here, which is pulled out of one of these older desktops. Not really in use. And down here we have my old games collection. So for my older games, I have Fallout 3, Quake 4, Supreme Commander, Guild Wars, I think that is Need for Speed, Resident Evil 5, Prototype, Wolfenstein, Dragon Age, Soldiers of Fortune 2, and Doom 3. I do have Quake 3, just not in here. It's actually in the other room. You guys didn't get to see that. So that's pretty much my whole setup. Just wanted to give it a quick rundown for you guys, show you guys what I had, show you guys what I'm about, and I hope you guys have a good day. See you in the next one.